The future is not a time zone that is yet to come. The future is everything that we can be but have not yet become. The future is everything that we can do but have not yet done. The future is here, the future is now. So go ahead and deliver the future, because you can, because you must. Together we will.
For a moment, I'd like you to imagine a place where fairness reigns supreme, a place where everyone has access to affordable justice and thus equal before the law, where no sacred bulls can trample on the rights of the common man and get away with it. That place is the People's Court. The People's Court is a radio court aimed at soliciting the timely participation of all in the enthronement and deepening of democracy and the fight against impunity, corruption, and abuse of human rights. Join Movers Nigeria. Move Nigeria forward.
It's a beautiful Saturday, and it's the 13th day of July in the year 2013, a day that provides us ample opportunity to sustain and deepen the roots of democracy in the minds of Nigerians. And with great joy, I welcome you to the second session of People's Court, an initiative powered by Movement of Voice for Democracy, also known as Movers Nigeria. We have risen from the agony of national decay. We are tired of mere talks as we watch bad turn to worse and the little good grows wings. There is definitely something we can do to make a difference. And after much deliberation and brainstorming, Movers Nigeria was born to raise and boldly address societal issues confronting us on a daily basis. What a great day to be alive. What a moment in history as we witness gradually but steadily the metamorphosis of Nigeria as power returns to the people, not to a selected few. This is what Movers Nigeria is all about. This is what we believe. This is what we envision. This is our driving force. With great joy, I usher you into the People's Court today. One of the main thrusts of Movers Nigeria is good governance. The next proceeding in the court, which is General Public Petition on Good Governance, will be steered by the Honorable Court Advocate, Mr. Ifeanyi Okonkwo, the initiator and promoter of Movers Nigeria. And as he files his public petition on good governance, send an SMS, a question, or your contribution to 0808 109 1094. Honorable Court Advocate, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to this week's episode of the People's Court, powered by Movement of Voice for Democracy, known as Movers Nigeria. I am your forum advocate, Mr. Ifeanyi Okonkwo. The focus today is that our association, Movers Nigeria, is urging every citizen to have faith in democracy, because democracy is embedded in rule of law, due process, and justice for all. Without justice, democracy will be unattractive. Our families and institutions are on the decline due to our culture of impunity and lack of justice for the poor. You must understand the fact that the strength of your oppressor is proportional to your own weakness in resisting him or her. You know that with the People's Court, you have a free access to justice in the public domain, where the people will be the jury. So, if you are oppressed by our big man syndrome in this country, or institution, or government, or any other agency of government, take the matter to the People's Court and let your voice be heard before your right is buried. Gentlemen and ladies, I have the pleasure to introduce to you a forum judge amongst the people. A forum judge is going to help to decide the case when you must have made the decision. I'm humbled to introduce to you a gentleman within the community, Reverend O.C. Obioha, JP. Reverend Obioha, could you say one or two things to the people as a forum judge?
Thank you very much, the facilitator of People's Court, Chief Ifeanyi Okonkwo. I feel elated. I feel honored to be called to be a judge of this kind of forum. I'm happy today to be in your midst. I'm Reverend Okechukwu C. Obioha JP, the African Coordinator of Servants of the Lord Ministries, Incorporated, based in the U.S. It's an apostolic teaching ministry that ministers to churches and organizations, Christian organizations all over the world. I was formerly also the state coordinator of ICPC and AVC in Enugu State, among other organizations that I belong to. I'm happy to be in your midst today.
It's my pleasure, Honorable George. According to our program, we will take the general petitions concerning good governance. This general petition, as submitted, is the first petition is from Movers Nigeria. Movers submitted a petition consisting two legs of their worry in the system. The first system, this will be open to the public to discuss, is that Movers has suggested that the studies in civics and the Nigerian Constitution must be included in the secondary school certificate to promote democratic culture in Nigeria. The first arm of their public petition is studies in civics and Nigerian Constitution must be included in our secondary school certificate to promote democratic culture in Nigeria. The second arm of their public petition is there is urgent need to amend our constitution outlawing fighting in parliament and or parliamentarians, that the penalty should be consequential dissolving of the parliament for fighting in the chambers, and members shall be ineligible for election for a period of 8 years, whereas members who engage others by disorderly conduct should be banned from holding public office for life. The second arm of the petition by Movers Nigeria is there is urgent need to amend our constitution outlawing fighting in parliament and or parliamentarians fighting, that the penalty should be consequential dissolving of the parliament or that particular parliament for fighting in the chambers, and the members shall be ineligible for election for a period of 8 years, whereas members who engage others by disorderly conduct outside the forum or the chambers should be banned from holding public office for life. As the advocate, I believe that the reasons that have necessitated this public petition must have been an eye on what is going on in our parliament, particularly in the state of Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Ladies and gentlemen, this public petition, as soon as the presenter permits, will be open for general discourse. And I will have opportunity to present this first to the forum advocate to see if he has anything to say before the jury will now deliberate and make their contributions so that we can reach a verdict. May it please you, Your Honor, the forum judge.
Thank you very much for this public petition from the movers. What I have to say briefly is that I subscribe wholly to this petition. But I just want to say that the problem we have, and we're having is not maybe just like putting civics and Nigerian constitution to be taught to the pupils and the students in schools, or to be put in the curriculum of schools. The problem we have is that those who were taught these civics in the old times, and those who have the constitution in their hands, are not obeying this constitution. They're not even reading them. They're not following the tenets of this constitution. Because I believe that those who were taught civics, they are the people there in the parliament we're talking about today. The ages that we have in the National Assembly, in all the government, in all the 3 tiers of government, if they abide by the ethics, by the civics they were taught in schools, this country will not be where it is today. So while I subscribe wholly to this movement, the petition to be sent to the public on good governance, I also want to say that we have to look into the characters of the people who were taught the civics when it was taught in the past years. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen and ladies, I will now seek the leave of the presenter to open this to the jury for discussion.
All right, thank you.
Have a nice day.
You heard it loud and clear. There are 2 petitions in the general public petitions. I'd like to take them again for those of you who just joined us right now. Studies in civics and Nigerian constitution must be included in our secondary school certificate to promote democratic culture in Nigeria. And then the second one is that there is urgent need to amend our constitution, outlawing fighting in parliament and all parliamentarians. The penalty shall be consequential dissolving of the parliament for fighting in the chambers, and the members shall be ineligible for election for a period of 8 years, whereas members who engage others by disorderly conduct should be banned from holding public office for life. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is the fact that these people are referred to as honorables, and their character and lifestyle should at least not be in disharmony with what they are referred to. Now, we're going to open up the talk lines, and if you have a comment to make, you can send it to 0808 109 1094. I have a text message right here, and I would like you to respond to that. The first one comes from Boniface Owo from Ishielu in Ebonyi State, and it says, I commend Mr. Ifani and the other movers in initiating this laudable sensitization program. I am a secondary school teacher and look forward to the day when this is entrenched into the school curriculum. But how can this happen when our so-called policymakers don't know or see the need?
Yes, this first text message is also within the domain of the public petitions. As the advocate, I feel that we must also remember that the provisions of Section 14 of our Constitution has given us all the rights that every issue and power to take decision in this country is not in the hands of the parliamentarian. It's in our hands. We own the sovereignty in this country. We are the custodians of the Nigerian, the pillars that hold this country. So we must move forward and seize the opportunity to know our rights and begin to show intolerance to impunity and lack of discipline by our leaders. So this is also part of the issues that the jury will now have to deal with so that we can get a proper resolution. This is the people's court.
Okay. Now, if you're out there, when he said the jury, he actually referred to you. You are the jury. I think this is a whole new idea. There's a paradigm shift occurring, because what we are used to is just a minute section of a society controlling the power. They are the ones in power. But power is returning to the public. I have another text message here from Kalu Ologu. And Kalu is in Okigwe. And it says, the recent incidents in Rivers State House of Assembly is shameful as it is painful. What you preach is what it should be. But will it ever come to pass? Will there ever be a time when fighting attracts an injunction? May I live to see that day.
Well, the commentary also have to be backed up by public opinion. We are asking for an amendment of our constitution so that we will outlaw and punish this unruly behavior by our members who represent us in the parliament.
So your opinion is going to count this morning. So wherever you are in the coal city or beyond, we want to know what you feel about these two propositions or petitions that the Movers Nigeria is making this morning. Studies in civics and Nigerian constitution should be included in the curriculum. That's the first proposition. And the second one is that something should be done about those who fight in the hallowed chambers. Okay? Those who are honorable but live dishonorably. All right? The last one I have here is from a barrister. And that's interesting. Barrister Meka Abai. And it says, the blind leading the blind best describes our situation in most parts of the country. If a congressman or parliamentarian can fight in the hallowed chambers, then he can fight anywhere or do worse things than fighting. How did this terrible set of people assume power, and what can we do to get to the seeming utopian principles that you propound?
Yes, the proposition initially might look utopian, but we must understand that the penalty that good men pay for not being in politics is to be governed by men worse than themselves. Okay? I am not the originator of this word. We need to be vigilant. We need to participate in democracy. There is no law banning civil servants from joining partisan politics. There's no law. The only limitation is that you cannot contest an election while holding public office. You must resign. We need to understand how to expand the frontiers of democracy so that we can deepen democracy.
All right. That's a response to Barrister Emeka Abai's SMS. All right. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we will continue in just a while.
Nigeria is not a geographical expanse of land spreading from the north down to the south. Nigeria is the people that live in it. Nigeria changes when we do. You are Nigeria, and so am I. Together we can make Nigeria a place we will all be proud to call our own. Join Movers Nigeria, move Nigeria forward.
All right, still the People's Court this beautiful Saturday morning. Okay, we are opening up the talk lines. You can send an SMS to 0808 109 1094, or you can call these lines 0815 960 9134, 0815 243 7346, or better still 0709 870 1163 or 0709 875 7854. And when you do call in, you will be responding to the propositions made by Movers Nigeria that studies and civics and Nigerian constitution must be included in our secondary school certificate program to promote democratic culture in Nigeria. I guess what the meaning is, people should be literate at least about what the constitution says, because a whole lot of people in Nigeria don't even know what their rights are. And if you don't know what your rights are, how can you start to fight for it? So when we say get up, stand up, it's not for you because you don't even know what your rights are. Okay, I have an SMS here and it says, I am in total support of as regards to parliament's fighting and its penalty as raised by movers, for the very fact that they have been fighting, which is shameful and dishonorable. What then are they teaching the younger generations? Okay, this was taken by Stephen Weze, Mr. Take Time. Stephen Weze, thank you for that beautiful SMS. Okay, if you're sending an SMS, send it to 0808 109 1094. Okay, if you are making calls, make your calls, dial the numbers 0708 0709 rather 875 7854, 0709 870 1163, or 0815 243 7346. This is your opportunity to talk. This is your opportunity to air your views. You need to be heard. All right, we have a petition today, but next week we can have your own petition. You are qualified to send in your own petition. It could be any aspect of government. Whatever you think it is not going the way it should, you can go to the Facebook at moversnigeria.org, okay? Or you can also send us an email. Send us an email at moversnigeria page at gmail.com, or you can visit the website generally, www.moversnigeria.org. Okay, feel free to do that. 0815 960 9134, 0815 243 7346, or you can also call 0709 870 1163. We want to get your opinion. Gone are the days when you say, what's the use of saying something? You must say something. Your voice has got to be heard. All right, the call lines are still 0815-960-9134. If you try the call lines and they are not coming in, you can send an SMS. I have one here. This one says, my name is Chaos from Enugu State, Esut Law Faculty. Fighting in the chambers by the honorables is a disgrace not only to the office but to the country as a whole. I subscribe to your submission that there should be punishments for such act. Hello? Please, can you turn down the volume of your radio?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name?
Hello?
Good morning. Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Peter Aneke is my name.
Okay, Chika Neke, you're welcome to the People's Court.
Yes, I want to contribute to the program.
Okay.
But before I go to the fighting in the chambers, you cannot rule out totally the powers behind the fighting in the chambers.
Okay.
Because for a parliamentarian to start fighting in the chambers, it means that something is behind what he's doing. Probably somebody is telling him to do what he's doing.
Okay.
So for you to address the issue of the parliamentarian fighting in the chambers, you have to, there should be a kind of overhauling of the entire electoral process, whereby credible people will be elected, whereby the masses will be given the chances of electing the proper representatives who will represent them in the chambers. So that's my contribution.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yes, so this is his contribution. George Advocate, George, do you have anything to say on this?
Yes, I was trying to say exactly what the caller said, because you can't just be fighting in the parliament without somebody sponsoring you or somebody trying to give you a signal from somewhere. A situation like you're talking in Port Harcourt, where 5 men will sit in the chambers and say they have impeached the governor. It's an absurd and it's a shame. And also like what we had at Abuja about a few weeks ago, where 16 governors voted and then 19 governors voted, and then they are now trying to make us believe that 16 is bigger than 19. This is the problem. So it's the bane of that problem in this country. And all these things tallies down to corruption, you see, in the system. Because that's what I'm trying to say. So even if you're talking about disciplining or giving some kind of sanctions to those in the parliament, we should also extend it. There should be an investigation to know the root cause of the fighting and where it came from, and who is encouraging and supporting that, or supported that to start with. And then that punishment should be extended to them. That's what I'm trying to say.
I will want to contribute here that the issue raised by the gentleman talks about the credibility of people who are leading us.
Okay.
I will want to sound a note of warning to those who are only responding to the branches without looking at the root of the problem. He feels that we can pontificate in our sitting rooms to get good men to put themselves forward. Remember that under the Constitution of Nigeria, the only person that can sponsor anybody to come and take office is through a political party.
Okay.
If you have refused to join a political party, you have no reason to complain about the quality of individuals they put forward. Nigerians have refused to participate in democracy, and they are expecting results. You cannot expect any result. The only way we can change this is in our hands. It's not in the hands of the governors or the president. Let every Nigerian that feels he has something to offer join a political party. You must join. It's when you join and we make sure that we streamline the funnel with which we produce our candidates that good men will now be sought after. Is not by complaining. Majority of the people who are available within the political spectrum are characters that are disaster. Some of them are people who have gone to jail. Some of them are cultists in their school days. What do you expect? We want solutions. We want the people to take active part in how they are governed. The law says the only way you can contest an election is if you are sponsored not by a church but by a political party. Good men and women, put yourself forward, join a party so that we can reduce these charlatans that have dominated our lives and are causing us all this misery.
All right, and I think I heard you say last week that they are not even as many as we are. Okay?
Yes, we are majority. So let us begin to articulate so that the people, the jury in this court, can take firm decision by urging people, directing people to join political party.
Hello? Yeah, good morning. Welcome to People's Court.
Good morning.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Late calling from England.
Okay. All right, I lost him right there. Hello? Hello? Okay, I lost that one too. Feel free to call 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346, or 0709-870-1163. You can also drop your comments on Facebook, People's Court 247. As a Facebook, People's Court 247, or send an email to peoplescourt@moversnigeria.org. Feel free to do that. Hello? Good morning.
Good morning. This is Mr. Alonso.
Can you lower the volume of your radio, please? Lower the volume of your radio. Can you turn down the volume of your radio? Turn down the volume of your radio when you call into a radio program. Please do that for us. Hello? All right. The talk lines are 0709-870-1163. And in case you just tuned in, this is the People's Court this beautiful Saturday. You can drop your Facebook at People's Court 247. People's Court 247 on Facebook. And you can send us an email on peoplescourt@moversnigeria.org. The numbers to call is 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346, 0709-870-1163. These are the lines to call. All right. For those of you who just joined us and you don't know what we are talking about, the first segment in the People's Court is General Public Petitions on Good Governance. And this morning, the petition is a proposition that studies in civics and the Nigerian Constitution must be included in our secondary school certificate, and that is to promote democratic culture in Nigeria. It was filed by Movers Nigeria. The second one says there is urgent need to amend our constitution, outlawing fighting in parliament and or parliamentarians. The penalty should be consequential dissolving of the parliament for fighting in the chambers, and the members shall be ineligible for election for a period of 8 years. Whereas members who engage others by disorderly conduct shall be banned from holding public office for life. All right. The talk lines are open, and if you want to send an SMS, maybe you're trying the lines and you're finding it difficult, send your SMS to 0808-109-1094. 0808-109-1094. Very soon we'll be moving out from this segment, so this is the time to call 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346, or 0709-870-1163. right, welcome back. Hello? Hello? Please, can you speak up? I can barely hear you. Hello? 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 All right. It's connected, but I cannot hear anything. All right.
Hello.
All right. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, what's the name and where you calling from?
I'm from Delta State. My name is Cookie.
Your name is what?
Cookie.
Cookie. Cookie, you're welcome to the People's Court.
From Delta State.
You're welcome. Okay. I guess he doesn't know what we're talking about. He just thought it's one of those shows, you call into maybe request for a song. This is serious matter, okay? This is the People's Court. And when you call into the People's Court, you must have something to say. Hello? Yeah, good morning. Please, can you speak up? Yeah, loud and clear. Okay. You're welcome to the People's Court.
What is the topic for today? What is the topic for now?
You just tuned in the topic. Okay, this is People's Court. And the first segment, we raised two issues. The first issue is that studies in civics should be part of the curriculum in our secondary school. Studies in civics and Nigerian constitution. And then we also, Movers Nigeria is proposing that there should be an amendment to the constitution, making it hard for people as dishonorable, as the honorables we have to be members of House of Assembly or parliamentarians. That's if they fight. Those who fight and those who have, characters that are in question should not be allowed to hold public offices.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so...
I want to contribute to the second stage of this.
Okay, to the second one. Okay. Go ahead.
Corrupted and unhonorable members to participate in politics in Nigeria. Because if you see what is happening in Rivers State presently, you see that it is a shame to Nigerian democracy. What thing has happened in House of 2 years or 3 years ago? I'm suggesting and supporting any move and make sure that it is incorporated in our constitution that any dishonorable member or members should be banned, not even 8 years, but for life.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for that contribution. Okay, not just for 8 years, but for life. Okay, people who are dishonorable should not be, dignified with the title honorable. Okay, feel free. Talk lines are still open, but they are not going to be open forever. Very soon they will be closed for us to move over to some other things. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You're welcome to the People's Court.
My name is Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, you're welcome. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Yeah, go ahead. We will speak up.
Okay. I'm in support of this resolution.
Okay.
But in terms of this civic education, I
Okay.
also suggest that the attitude of the teacher should be looked to. Because in most of our schools now, the teachers who are supposed to teach the students, even with civic education, are bad examples to them. So that should also be included important support of it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that beautiful contribution. People who are in power should be held accountable for their conduct. I think it is coming to a point in Nigeria where it's no more business as usual. People who get in must be people that are, well scrutinized. And then if they are in office and they misbehave, there should be some kind of penalty. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What's the name and where you calling from?
I am Timothy calling from Enugu.
Timothy, you're welcome to the People's Court.
Hello?
I said you're welcome to the People's Court.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
I
so
want to comment on the issue of fighting in the House of Assembly by honorable members.
okay.
You see, the issue of fighting, sir, has to do with two persons or a people. The situation whereby you're on your own and someone like step on you and slap you, what do you expect the other person to do, sir? Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, he's saying if someone jumps on you.
We are trying to address an issue that is not only peculiar to Nigeria's situation. It's because of lack of credible characters when the political machinery is not working, when there is no democratic culture within the political parties, that one man can stand up to go and attack another man instead of using his advocacy to convince the man, but get him physical. So that is what we are trying to deal with. If you eliminate the breeding ground of such characters that are insane, because it's a mark of insanity for you to be violent instead of persuasive attitude towards another parliamentarian,
Okay.
or to bring a weapon, or to use the instrument of authority of the parliament, such as the mace, to go and hit another man, or to see a situation where the sergeant at arms or the officers of the assembly who swore to an oath will use their position to go and support an illegal move to remove an officer of the parliament. These are all issues that Nigerians must get interested in how they are governed, because we are so unconcerned. That is why these people have now dominated our lives, and we are now complaining. The judge advocate sitting here felt that we should also encourage people to join political party. If you don't join this political machinery, you cannot be funneled out as one of the elected people that will bring good character and good manifestation of family values in the parliament. Civil servants can join political parties. They feel that they have become slaves in this country by being civil servants. You are not slaves. Fight to be citizens. The only bar you have is that if you want to contest the election, you resign 30 days before the conduct of the election. Let us get good men, people who have good character, people who uphold family values in our public domain.
I have a caller here. Hello. Hello. You're welcome to the People's Court. Can you speak up a little bit? Good morning. Go ahead. We can hear you. I can barely hear you. Can you speak up? All right, please do call us back. The call was very faint. Feel free to call. I have an SMS here, and it says, when cult members and the universities finally come out and suddenly find themselves in the nation's assembly, what does one expect? The solution lies in reverting to the old system of schooling when teachers were lords. Marcus Owonoya, Apuanuitem, Abia State.
That's his opinion.
Okay.
And we will gladly also take it into consideration this morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. What's the name?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
It's
You are in
Mike
People's
Ifeanyi
Court.
calling for Machina.
What's the name again, sir?
Mike Ifeanyi calling for Machina.
Okay, Weki Fanyi calling from Machina. You're welcome to the People's Court.
All right. I want to say, Oma, good morning.
Good morning, my namesake.
The thing is that what Nigerians deserve is good governance, and that is what everyone is praying for. But unfortunately, in our society, we have come to discover that our people, people that are coming out for electing positions are not what our people wanted, and those who are really supposed to be in position are afraid of the unknown because of what is happening in our society. And we find out that it is time we take this fight to the churches and schools. The federal government have done it well by signing into law the Freedom of Information Bill. It's already an act, so it's time to take it up. People are afraid. Our people are fanatical when it comes to religious. So it's time we take it to the churches and let them know that it's time we come out and then defend our society. Because like I'm saying, in my community in Nachina, erosion has done so much to my people that we can no longer connect Achina with Umujituru Umweleke. And then the erosion has not, the rain has not come as the environment has been saying it on air. Then after the rainy season, that means we can no longer even farm or do anything in our area. But we find out that there are people who are coming out this time for chairman, local government chairman and councillors. They will take this way, they will look at those things. They are not even interested to make phone calls. They are not even interested to do anything. And these are people who we are about to vote in to go and fight for us. And then you begin to reason, what will these people do when they go to that place? These are people who have seen the problem on ground, and they are not even ready to come on, maybe rally around and call this, the community and say, okay, let us do something about this thing. These things are what our people are supposed to look into and start moving into change. You know, and the religious body should also help, because our people so believe that the father has said this and the reverend has said this. That is what they believe. So it's time we take this fight to the churches. Thank you. I'm working for a caller for a Jimmy to go over.
Thank you, Nweke Fanyi, for that beautiful contribution. I think the judge has something.
Foreign judge, so you can make
thank you, Fanyi. I really commend.
You're also a reverend, so
yeah. Thank you very much. I commend you for what you just said, but I just want to note here that it's very difficult for you to find any of these people that are causing us mayhem not belonging to a particular church. Most of them, they come in, they have titles in the churches, they sit in front rows in the churches, they do what? In fact, they are very participatory in the activities of the church. The problem we have is that these men of God, like I am, the pastors, they are all corrupt. They are too materialistic. I'm sorry to say this. They can't look you at the face and tell you this is where. So the particular department we're supposed to take these things to sanitize the society, so supposed to have gone through the churches, because that's where you get them. But the unfortunate thing is that these pastors are also they are not civil. They are not really men of strong character. It is difficult to find them these days. They just come in, they talk about, they look at the money, they are interested in going with exotic cars, and they are too materialistic. And these guys come in, they give them a lot of things, and they close their mouth. They can't tell them off in their faces what they should do, what they ought to do and what not to do. So that's the problem. But in any case, we cannot give up. We still keep on doing what we are doing. That's why movers are here for us, to enlighten the civil society, to enlighten the churches, to take this war to the churches, to also say, if it's possible, movers will have to conduct seminars for pastors, so that we'll tell them, if you are not ready to do what God has asked you to do, get out from there.
All right. First of all,
just
you want to say something?
To add to what the forum judge has also recommended, I want to remind our people that the President Pope of the Catholic Church has warned reverend gentlemen, bishops, and pastors and reverend fathers that the church must return to the poor, that they must go back to the poor. Our bishops, people write letters, petitions to them, they don't even reply those letters. And these are people who are supposed to be agents of God. It shows that those bishops are also indictable. The issue we must begin to understand is that if the churches fail us, let us return back to our families. Let us go back to our families, the family values. we must find a way to begin to be in tune of what the culture of the people has been manifesting all this while. If you have raised a critical issue, but you must submit this issue as a petition so that we will pass it along, put it in our website and our Facebook page, so that others will have the benefit. Those who are not listening to this radio program or within this time can also drink from the fountain of your wisdom. We must know that because you are wearing a cassock does not make you a good man.
All right, you're still welcome to the People's Court. Okay, the talk lines are still open. Feel free. Hello? Yeah, good morning. What's the name? Nemeka. Okay, speak up like you're a mover.
Hello?
Speak up like you're a mover. Speak up boldly so we can hear you loud and clear. Hello?
Okay, what I want to comment on the issue of the attempt by the new people that have the
I can barely hear you.
impact. It is really an and this happening in the first place. This is exactly what we are doing. Situation where old men in the hypocrisy, and power. And this is bad. What I comment on this issue?
So I think you have to call back because
It's difficult to get what he's saying.
I can barely make anything out of what you're saying. Please do call us back, but our talk line will soon close so we can move into another segment. I have two SMSs here. This one says, while waiting for the right and credible men to take power, disciplinary actions should be put in place to show the dishonorable the way out to checkmate it. Where's the Ifunamba? Okay, Onicha. Where's the Ifunamba? Thank you so much.
It's encouraging.
Okay, and then let me take this one. This one says, I'm Oko Paul from Enugu. It is really bad for our honorable members to fight in the parliament. It's a disgrace to us and to the country at large, and they should be removed from the office. And I think our constitution should be studied in our school so everyone knows the do's and the don'ts of our country, because most of us today don't know anything about our constitution. Okay, I have a caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Please turn down the volume of your radio.
I'm already walking from the radio.
Okay, what's the name and where you calling
This
from?
is Mr. Lasbo calling from Maishu.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been hearing people so far, the contribution to this country, and I can see how serious is mobile Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to say something that I think is a problem to this country. You say before the governor will work his tenure and go out of office, he has already chosen the governor that will sit on the seat.
Okay.
And even those labor and house of affairs, they pick up their next person before their tenure is over. And you see, even sometimes, if people spend their money to even the election of the local government, like what happened in the state here. Like the past election, we did not vote. But the announced people, the people are working in the offices right away. I believe if we have body like this, over Nigeria, you can be able to do something. I just want to urge on Nigeria to team up, to follow up with this leg that you move out Nigeria are building up, so that we can be able to rectify the problem in Nigeria.
Okay.
And one more thing is this, you see, like you were saying about secondary school should be included to our constitution and protection of the nation. Many of these men who couldn't go to school, they don't even have character, they go right from their home. money, they are big names, and most especially, I believe because there is an analogy I used to discuss with you, it's just like it's a mistake when you make that statement. Before you realize, he has already told me that before he marked that seat on that seat, you must be corrected. You know?
Yeah.
From that day, I knew him is not like that. I used to see him as a Christian, as a believer. But since that day, I knew that there is nothing like Christianity in it. You understand? So all these things happening in Nigeria are really very bad. Even without our presidency to the local government personnel, I want to tell you people that there are the seat is already an occultic seat. That seat is very, very corrupted. So I want you people to be encouraged and more and more. You know? And I want to ask for a favor, if you can be able to extend that thing all around Nigeria, I believe Nigeria will be a little bit better. That is what I think. So that is my contribution.
All right, thank you so much.
Before I will ask the forum judge to comment, first of all, I want to commend this caller.
Okay.
I also use this singular opportunity to tell every Nigerian that you can start an association like Movers Nigeria in your own small community.
Okay.
Get your friends together. One thing we will tell you that we are not asking you to come and adopt Movers program, but you can imitate us. You can be one. Set up a few friends. Write to us. Call us on the phone. The presenter will give you our address so that we come and help you how we can set up this type of organization. Find money within ourselves. Buy radio time and start mobilizing our people. So I'm encouraged, because if we had this type of program when that election in Edo State was conducted, you would have taken these issues to the People's Court, and people will know whether there was an election or not. So we Nigerians, let us stop complaining. Let us start doing something about the problem we are having. That is the first thing I want to say before I will now ask the forum judge to comment on this wonderful contribution.
Yeah, well, I just want to commend you from Edo State, Auchi in particular, for what you have said and what you have observed. And I think this is why this program is very timely, very, very timely. Like very soon we'll be having an election in Anambra State, in Ekiti and Osun State. Before you begin to talk about the 215, we want to begin to create this awareness and consciousness in the minds of people so that you know your right, you know what you're supposed to do. You'll be very participatory to what is going on. Like the facilitator has said, you cannot just sit in your home and begin to expect changes to take effect. You have to be participatory. You have to be involved. And so that's why I'm saying that it's quite too early now. Like Igbo people will say, Tabubo, if we can begin to imbibe and listen to these programs and replicate what we are doing, then you now see that there must be a change, definitely.
All right, I have an SMS here, a very pathetic one. It says, I have a case in EFCC, and the case I am accused of is a bailable offense, and that I am not guilty of. And they should take me to the court. That is the last hope of the common man. And they said that they are not going to court, and that if they should go to the court, that they should oppose my bail, and I will be taken to prison where I will die. And now, with the help of my lawyer, I am now in the court and is working for them as they said. So right now I am in the prison. So what I'm asking is whether it is good, Chukwebuka Chuku, and what can I do?
Yes, the People's Court can take your issue, but first of all, you must know that you have now been charged before a court of law. Once your matter is before a court of law, the People's Court cannot determine the matter anymore. If it was when it was in the domain of the EFCC or the police, and you bring a petition, we will serve the head of the police your petition, because they are accountable to us. One thing we must find out in this country is that our leaders feel they are not accountable to us. That is not the proper way the Constitution was framed. So we'll find a way to bring them to People's Court. We can bring a governor here to People's Court, notwithstanding he has immunity. We can bring the president to the People's Court, notwithstanding he has immunity, because the people must be heard. But removing him might be the issue where he has immunity, but the people must also make commentary about his conduct. So what we are telling you is that don't lose hope. You already have a lawyer who is trained in trying to maneuver the rope with which you have been kept in prison. You will not be in prison without a judgment. Maybe you have not told us the full story, because you might be remanded in prison for safe keeping so that you will not run away from the law. You will approach the court so that they will give you bail if there are reasons for you to seek bail, or you will ask your lawyer to forget about bail and let them pursue the case. What are you doing with bail when your freedom is still hanging in the balance? So most time people waste so much time looking for bail and don't fight the actual case, because if government have no case, they will have no reason to keep you down in the first place. So my advice is that you now get a lawyer and make sure that your people will also pay him, because if you don't pay the lawyer, he may not do a good work. And the reason why you have been caught by the law is not what we can now sit and pass judgment on. So we ask you to have faith in the Constitution.
All right, for those of you whose cases have not gone to EFCC or have not gone to the court, you can make use of the People's Court. You can file your cases. We just need 4 copies of your application, and then your case will be heard. And don't forget, today we'll be hearing about 3 cases. Okay, the last SMS I'll take from this segment is from Ebo Chaos from Enugu. Nigeria deserves to experience pure democracy, but the problem is that most of our public officers are just politicians and not leaders. Okay, they are not leaders. They fail to take cognizance of the difference between politics and leadership. Politics ends immediately after election, but some of them fail to understand that also leads to the abhorrent behavior of fighting in the chambers. All right, thank you, Chaos, for that SMS. And don't forget that you can drop your comments on our Facebook page, People's Court 247, or you can email us, peoplescourt@moversnigeria.org. We will be back in a moment.
Transformation begins with a new consciousness, new thoughts, new perspectives, a brand new way of looking at Nigeria, and the indispensable role you have to play to actualize the lofty and noble dreams of our founding fathers. We are Nigerians for life. Join Movers Nigeria, move Nigeria forward.
Introducing your person.
All right, welcome back. It's still the People's Court. Okay, and we've already taken the first segment, which is general public petitions on good governance. We're moving into the second segment.
Welcome to the second part of the People's Court. It's now to attend to messages, emails, Facebook messages, and text messages that have come in while we were discussing, so that we can quickly give answer to them before we go to the court proper for the arbitration. Let us now have the messages.
Okay, thank you. The first SMS is from Neka. She's in Kogi State. She's asking, is it only land cases you people handle?
No, we take every case except matters of issues of crime and matters that are in court. You can bring a petition against a sitting judge to the People's Court. That will show you as far as we can go. Every public officer is subject to our own supervision. The people can make comment. They feel that impunity is what we are trying to fight in Nigeria. Impunity. If a judge of a court will decide to abuse his position, not attending court in time, or if the governor will decide to come and lock people up because he's governor and you have nowhere to run to, go to the People's Court. We are fighting impunity in Nigeria because rule of law is the bane of our decline if we follow the rule of law. So we don't take land matters only. We take cases where the parties agree to subject their issues to the People's Court. We take cases that a poor person have nowhere else to run. You have no money to go and hire a lawyer. We take it to the People's Court. Not that the People's Court will go and put the person in prison, but let the world hear your voice before your rights are buried. Thank you.
Okay. The second question is from Onyemechi in Etup. He's asking, please sir, can we bring petitions against those money-eating lecturers who receive money to pass those that don't deserve to be passed?
Yes, those petitions are allowed in the People's Court. As a matter of fact, that is the areas we must also clean up impunity in our higher institutions. So nobody is immune. We must find a way to correct this culture of impunity in Nigeria. Students, you are free to petition against lecturers who take money from you to award marks. That is the only way we can correct all these things. But remember, don't accuse an innocent person, because we will pass your petition, which will be in writing, to that lecturer through the head or the vice chancellor of the university.
Okay. This one is from Ujoako in Imo State. She's asking, can People's Courts come to my village to settle family issues for us?
Yes, we can. But what we are trying to ask you is to get your friends together and join movers or start something like this, so that we can help you set up a People's Court in your area by buying airtime on radio, so that the people will know what is happening. At least those few individuals that are trampling on our rights will be on the run.
Okay. This one is from Okechuku. He's in Ababa. He's asking, can I bring my father to People's Court? He refused to train me in school.
Yes, you can bring your father to People's Court. People's Court is all about family values and strengthening the family. You bring him, two of you might walk away holding hands after you have attended the People's Court.
Okay. And this one is from Philip in Enugu. He's asking that he has a case with a big man in Enugu, and he's a very influential man and one of those people that say what happens in Enugu. Please hope he will not use money to divert case against me when I bring him to People's Courts.
You'll be rest assured that the People's Court is not a court where anybody is. The people that will decide this case, and you will wait and see the trial that will go on after this part of the program. The People's Court is where the people will give you judgment and let the big man go and hide.
This one is from Neka. She's in Ogui. She's asking, please, my case is in another human rights group, but they are failures themselves. I pay them to handle the case, but nothing is happening. Please, can People's Court handle it?
Yes, we can assist you. Mind you that all human rights groups are not supposed to be charging money. But if this group decides to charge money, that is an agreement you must have reached with them. But we are going to help you to make sure that your rights are secured free of charge. And if the case is the type that must be heard in open, we will bring it to the knowledge of the administrators of the People's Court, and it will be heard. And that person will have opportunity to come and defend himself in People's Court.
This one is from Nneka. She's in Obia. He said, how much will I pay for my complaint to be handled in People's Courts?
Nneka, my sweetheart, nobody pays money to People's Court. People's Court is self-funded through friends and well-wishers. So you don't pay. Access to justice is free.
This one is from Anonymous. Said, do I need to be a member of your group to come to People's Courts?
No, my darling, you don't need to be a member. You must be an aggrieved citizen that has a right. But whatever you are complaining against another person must be in writing, so that we will fulfill all righteousness to give him notice of what the complaints are, and he will have opportunity to defend himself. This is People's Court of Justice.
The final one is from Emeka in Ugwoba. He's saying, can I bring my legal case to the advocate of People's Court for advice?
Yes, we are also open to look at your case, but we are not going to help you to go and litigate your matter. You need to go to a trained lawyer who is the person licensed to do that. But we can give you advice. That advice is free.
All right. For you to drop your comments, just go to our Facebook page, People's Court 247. Write it down, People's Court 247. Or you can send us an email, peoplescourt@moversnigeria.org. Alright, it's still the People's Court, and any moment from now the arbitration will start. We have some cases we have to treat. Just stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
For a moment, I'd like you to imagine a place where fairness reigns supreme, a place where everyone has access to affordable justice and thus equal before the law, where no sacred bulls can trample on the rights of the common man and get away with it. That place is the People's Court. The People's Court is a radio court aimed at soliciting the timely participation of all in the enthronement and deepening of democracy and the fight against impunity, corruption, and abuse of human rights. Join Movers Nigeria. Move Nigeria forward. In the People's Court sitting this Saturday, the 13th day of July 2013 at 9 a.m., the following cases are due for hearing. Ms. Felicia N. Igwe Clement versus Mr. Michael Oke Okori, defendant. Mr. Raphael Uchenabo Clement versus Dr. P.J.C. Nwokabala, defendant. Ikechukwu Odogu Clement versus Okechukwu Ibo, defendant. Join us this Saturday and be part of the People's Court, 9 to 11 a.m. on Solid 100.9 FM. The People's Court is powered by Movers Nigeria. For more information, call 042-291-198 or 0708-955-9992. People's Court, arbitration based on truth and justice.
Citizens, this court is now in session. The first case is petition number 1. This petition was filed in by one Miss Felicia N. Igwe as the claimant. He filed this petition against Mr. Michael Okorie. The reason why this petition is now before the court is that Felicia did not give us the address of the defendant. But there is no way we could now get the defendant's version. But we say we must bring it to the notice so that Felicia will not lose hope that we did not attend to her case. The facts of the case as summarized in the case file are as follows. I am a single girl of 31 years and holds a first degree in business administration from University of Lagos. I work for a commercial bank and I was in 2010 transferred to Nsukka branch of my bank. I started a relationship with one Mr. Michael Okorie, a customer of my bank. Sometime in April 2012, he proposed marriage to me, which I accepted. He asked me to help him in his business with a personal loan of 500,000 naira, which I gladly gave him. The business progressed and I further gave him another 600,000 naira. In January 2013, he sent a text message to my phone telling me that his old girlfriend filed for him American visa lottery and that he is leaving and will not want to miss this opportunity. Miss Felicia N. Igwe, as claimants, claims as follows. Please, I want the People's Court to help me recover my life savings, totaling 1,100,000 naira. Citizens and the jury, this case, we were not able to reach the defendant so that he can give us his own part of the story. Felicia sent this with her address, but not the address of the defendant. So there is no way we could ascertain how to reach the defendant so that we will not violate his rights to fair hearing. But because it is important that this petition must come to court and the people will decide, that is the case of the claimant as presented by the forum advocate. I will ask the judge in the forum to see if he has to make a comment before we pass this case to the public for their judgment.
Felicia, thank you for your petition. But first of all, I just want to say that God gave us 2 ears so that we can hear from two sides. Like the facilitator have said, we've not heard from Michael Okorie. Nevertheless, I just want to look at the statement that the business progressed. When you gave him 500,000, the business progressed. And that is what I want to look into. It means at a point, it was satisfactory. At a point when the business was going on, if I can identify or define or want the meaning of that word you used, the business progressed. There was no quarrel. And then I begin to wonder again why you are claiming 1.1 million. Because you gave him 500,000, and at another point you gave him 600,000. Because at the point of 500,000, the business progressed, and it was satisfactory to you. So we've not heard from him, but I also want to say that at one point you were satisfactory. You were satisfied with what was going on before you gave the 600,000. Until we hear from OK. But again, I also want to advise also to our listeners. You mentioned that you were 31 years old and you started a relationship. And when you were posted to Nsukka by 2010, and this thing came up to 2012, which is about 3 years. I wonder is it because of hardship? Is it because of whatever, all of anxieties or whatever, frustration or desperation that will make you to get engaged into 3 years before the marriage is consummated? Or else this incident wouldn't have happened. So I want to encourage young people who are don't get desperate to getting into marriage. If a young man says he wants you, a young girl says he wants you, because this thing can also happen between a female and a male. I've had an instance of somebody who says a girl who also had a visa lottery and left overseas and left his man groaning. So either way, so what I want to say is that there's no reason why an engagement should last for more than 6 months or 1 year. I mean, I don't want to say that. So I want to advise you and advise our listeners. Why would you want at that 1 year? You want to get engaged for 3 years and you are doling your money into this guy. You have to. This is why Movers is bringing up this issue. Be very, very careful. For those who are listening to us, make sure that your engagement does not exceed 6 months at least.
Gentlemen and ladies, this case is now open to the jury to call in and make your own verdict on this petition.
All right.
May it please you.
Each time you hear jury, you should know it is referred to you. You out there is the jury, the people listening to us at this very point in time. If you could pick up your phone and call, then you are acting as a jury. In this case, what do you have to say? The talk lines are still open, 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346, or 0709-870-1163, or 0709-875-7854. Whichever one you choose to call in with, please make sure you do call. It's a case between two people. Okay, I have a caller on the line. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You're welcome to the People's Court.
Hello, good morning.
I said good morning. You're welcome to the People's Court.
My name is Haruna Hassan. I'm calling from Amba.
Okay, Haruna, you're welcome. Oh, I lost Haruna. Haruna is calling from Amba, Kogi State. Please do call us back. 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346, 0709-870-1163. Now, we're not going to we don't have all the time. Eventually, we will move to another case. So feel free to call and be fast about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second case before the court. This case number 2 is ripe for hearing. This case was brought by Mr. Raphael Uchenna Abu. He brought this case against Dr. PJC Nwoke Bala, all living in Onitsha. The facts of the complaint of Abu is this. My name is Raphael Uchenna Abu from Amechi, a driver of 10 years. Dr. PJC Nwoke Bala hired me at Onitsha in August 2011, and he took me to Abuja. He paid me 20,000 a month, and in December 2012, I resigned to join another master in Oka, Anambra State. Before I resigned in December 2012, he owed me 4 months' salary and has since refused to pay me and threatened to send the police to arrest me if I call or visit his office at Onitsha again. We had the opportunity to send this complaint against Dr. PJC Nwoke Bala at his address in Onitsha. He quickly replied because the claim against him was for the sum of 80,000 naira. The defendant, Dr. Nwoke Bala, stated very shortly in his reply, "Thank you for your notice. I do not want to have anything to do with Raphael because he smokes Indian hemp. Please, what I owe him is only 3 months' salary because he left me in Abuja in one of our trips without notice. Find a close is a First Bank of Nigeria PLC check, number PO 693-09633 for 60,000 naira in the name of Raphael Uchennabo. I do not have time to attend any court because I am a Christian. This case is a case that we never knew that will come to this type of end, and we are happy. He sent a check of 60,000 naira in the name of Raphael. The facts of the case are clear. He has admitted and paid the sum of 60,000 naira. This matter is not supposed to have come to court, but because of shortness of time, we needed to use this opportunity to tell the complainant, Raphael Uchennabo, that he's now a rich man in the sum of 60,000 naira. He can come to our office to come and collect his check. That the man who is indebted to him, as he claimed, in the sum of 80,000, has agreed that he owes 60,000. We will now ask the jury, which is the public, to give judgment on this case, whether the payment will be full and final settlement of this case. I will now pass this case to the forum judge for his comment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abo. And also, I want to thank you, particularly Dr. PJC, for respecting the People's Court and also admitting that you were owing Mr. Abo by sending the 60K to People's Court to transmit to Mr. Abo. I want to thank you very much. Thank you also for also indicating that you're a Christian. But I also want to point out that Matthew chapter 7 verse 12 says, whatsoever you would that men should do to you, do so even to them. A driver that pulls you everywhere, and as far as the hostile busy road of Onitsha to Abuja, I will have the courage of keeping him hungry for months. You don't want to pay him for abandoning you at Abuja. A hungry man, they say, is an angry man. We thank God you have already admitted, though you said he smokes Indian hemp, which is very bad. But again, I want to subscribe here that you should send a check for another 1 month, which you said he abandoned you, because this man was very angry and hungry and angry. And I want to also thank God that he never even hit you on the road or use the side where he's carrying you, where you are sitting at owner's corner, and hit a trailer while his eyes or vision is blurred because of hunger. So please do that favor and send the remaining check to People's Court. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen and ladies, is now open to the forum for the people's verdict.
All
the
right.
jury.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. I've been listening to your program.
Okay. Can you turn down the volume of your radio? It's interfering with our signal.
Okay, let me walk out from that room.
Okay, walk away from it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better. Thank you.
So, I like your program. Let's keep it out.
Thank you.
So, for the man who refused to pay his driver, you know, that's a very, I don't know how to qualify that man. Why should he send the money to People's Court
Okay.
instead of giving the money to the man, to the driver?
He said he doesn't want to have anything to do with him, that he smokes Indian hemp.
It's afraid.
So that's why he should send the money to People's Court.
Well, the important thing is that the money has come. Much more than, I mean, will it have been better if he didn't bring the money? I'm asking, will it have been better if he didn't bring the money at all?
Okay.
You're not answering my question. Maybe you should have said thank you to People's Court for being able to get the money from the man that the man himself has not been able to get for some time.
But I didn't hear you.
Huh?
I didn't know what to say.
Okay, I said maybe you should have thanked the People's Court for the ability to get this money from the man.
Okay. As I said earlier, you people are doing wonderful work.
Thank you very much.
Very fast. recommended.
Okay, your problem is that the man had to send it through the people's court and not to the man that he is owing.
The man, the issue there is that the man has been owing him, is it for 6 months or what do people say?
Okay.
It's up to 4 months, Abby. So it's not that right. If you have paid him,
okay,
for a very long time, because all these drivers, they are just managing.
Yeah.
That driving for you should have paid him for a very long time, rather than keeping his money and bringing it to people's phone.
Okay. Thank you so much for your verdict.
Okay.
You're welcome. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning, my dear.
Yeah, good morning, ma.
Good morning.
This is a court, so we are just...
I want to say something as regards to the lady Felicia.
Okay, the first case.
Huh?
Yes, the first case.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing with our ladies, at times when they get to a certain age, they get desperate and all that.
Okay.
I want to believe, had it been they got married, this case wouldn't have come to people's court.
Okay.
She would just forget about everything, the money and all that.
She should forget about
She ended
her.
up like this. She now wants the guy to pay her back for all the loan she gave to him.
Okay.
I don't know what to say to him, to her. Anyway, the thing is, my own judgment is this.
Yes.
She gave the money to him in hoping that the guy would marry her at the end of the day. And the guy, maybe he saw the desperation in her own side. That's why he used her at that moment to get what he wants from her.
Okay.
So I don't know what to say to her. For me, she should just forget about it and forge ahead with her life.
Okay.
As God pleases.
As
And
God
as for the
pleases.
second case, so far so good. I just pray the other guy should balance the remaining 20,000 so that God will bless him for Christian.
Okay, you agree with the judge? You agree with the judge that he should make another 20,000 naira available? Okay, I think we
Thank you.
lost her.
Thank you. And
Okay, that was
yeah,
a
the
bit-
point, the judgment is noted.
Okay.
We want more verdicts so that we can conclude that case before we move into the last case.
All right, there's another one here. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Welcome to the People's Court.
Okay, I'm working calling from Machina.
Okay, you're welcome back.
All right, I want to say that, in fact, I commend the People's Court for their action.
Okay.
Based on the person that was, the driver that was doing some mood.
Okay.
To my own, I would say that he should also pay the remaining 20,000 and also pay some fines on top of it, because if that money has to be deposited in a fixed deposit,
Yes.
to accumulate some interest. So he's supposed to pay him for owing his money all these while. All this while. I think that the man himself did not come to people's court. That means he wouldn't have even paid the money, so that it will serve as a deterrent to other people who are owing people's money without making any effort to pay them.
Okay.
As,
Thank you so much for that beautiful contribution.
as
All
God
right, he
pleases.
should-
As
he
God
should-
pleases.
Okay. He should pay an extra fine for holding the money. Okay. Because if the money was deposited in the bank, it will have gotten some interest. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome to the People's Court.
Okay, this is Magnus once again.
Okay.
And also, I'm supporting the second, this last caller.
Okay.
Because the man is saying that he's an Indian smoker, Indian hair smoker. Somebody that has worked for you for that number of months. It should not be that day, this now that you know that he's an Indian smoker. So while working with you, they must have known and condemn it. Now we are asking for his money. Now you know that he's an Indian smoker. Assuming that that money was put in business, don't everybody know what it was accumulated by now? So he should at least, if he didn't pay any other thing extra, he should at least complete it.
Okay.
But additional 20,000 naira to make it complete. Thank you.
As the court places.
As God
God
pleases.
pleases.
All right. That's a good one. Everybody is saying the man should pay more.
the next case, and which is the last case, is the case brought by Ikechukwu Odogu against Mr. Okechukwu Abo. He supplied the address of Okechukwu Igbo.
Okay.
And we sent this petition against Mr. Igbo at the address given, and he quickly replied. You remember that every case that comes to people court a day before the sitting of this court on Saturdays, the cost list will be announced, and name of plaintiffs or claimants and defendants will be known before the sitting of the court. The case of Odogu against Mr. Igbo is as follows. My name is Mr. Ikechukwu Odogu, a businessman residing in Enugu. I employed Mr. Okechukwu Igbo as my driver in August 29 and placed him on a salary of 20,000 naira monthly. In April 2013, we discovered that 2 spare tires in my car has disappeared, which the gate man confirmed that the driver, Mr. Okechukwu, took to repair as he said. When Mr. Okechukwu was confronted, he left to bring it, and since then he never came back to the house. And efforts to call him, he refused to pick his phone and later switched it off completely. Mr. Odogu wants Mr. Okechukwu Igbo to return the 2 tires or pay for the equivalent. He did not specify the cost of the equivalent he wants Mr. Igbo to pay. We sent this petition by courier to Mr. Okechukwu Igbo, the defendant, and he also scantily responded to the petition. He said, I, Mr. Okechukwu Igbo, took the spare tires, but will pay back when I get a new job, but it will be through the People's Court. That is the case of the plaintiff and the defendant, and this same case is placed before the court, firstly for the forum judge to comment.
Yeah, Okechukwu Igbo, I want you to know clearly that you stole from your master. And the other way of saying, reason of saying until you get a job, I don't subscribe to it. You should make every effort, even if it means selling your property if you have one, to pay for the tires. Then to your master, I have this to say. That is Mr. Odogu. I want to say that it is only God that is inscribed with the statement, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be. Why I'm saying this is that you employed this driver in 2009, and by 2013, from your statement, you are still paying him 20,000 naira. And you know the economic situation in this country. Well, I want to believe that he is still being paid 20,000 K after 3 years of employment. It is unfortunate. This thing is very synonymous, is very common with private employers in this country. Because when we talk about civility, we talk about those in the parliament fighting, we talk about sanctions to be given to them. In the other way around, there are also people fighting in parliaments by, trying to enslave their workers. For 3 years, this man has been there on 20K. And I want to say that, I've already said he should look for money. We shouldn't wait until he gets a job. He should go borrow and pay for those tires. But then, you yourself, you should be very lucky. And you are blessed that he only stole your tires. Because at the condition this man was, he may have also have taken your vehicle and sold them away and vamoosed. So I want to say, the Bible says that temptations will come. But woe unto him that temptation will come from. So we should really be very careful. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the case is now open for verdict by the people.
Okay, the talk lines are open. 0815-960-9134. Don't forget, the people the people is the jury. So if you're out there, feel free to make that call and tell us exactly what your position is on this case. It could be this one, it could be the one before this one. Just feel free to make your comment. 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346, 0709-870-1163. You can even disagree with the judge. You can disagree with any one of us. You have your own mind, and feel free. Okay? The people is the jury, and we need your comment. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Please, we notice
Hello?
this goes off when the petition is being read. So this particular one now, not even get the whole of the gist. So we have got to do things.
I didn't get what you said.
Speak up,
I
please.
said that the station goes off air why this particular thing was being read.
Okay,
Okay, we
so
read it again.
we'll read it again.
Station do go off air.
I got you.
Even we are listening to do go off air while this petition is being read. So
Okay.
I did not even hear us.
We repeat the
We'll
facts
repeat
of
it
the
right
case.
now.
This is the facts of the case. The case number 3 is a petition by Ikechukwu Odogwu against one Okechukwu Igbo. These are the facts of the case. My name is Mr. Okechukwu Odogwu, a businessman residing in Enugu. I employed Mr. Okechukwu Igbo as my driver in August 29 and placed him on a salary of 20,000 monthly. In April 2013, we discovered that 2 tires in my car has disappeared, which the gate man confirmed the driver, Mr. Okechukwu, took to repair, as he said. When Mr. Okechukwu was confronted, he left to bring it, and since he never came back, and efforts to call him, he refused to pick his phone and later switched off his phone. He claimed, I want Mr. Okechukwu Igbo to return the 2 tires or pay its equivalent. He did not specify what the equivalent of the money is. We sent this petition to the defendant, Mr. Okechukwu Igbo, and he quickly, scantily sent us his defense. And he wrote, summarize, I said, I, Mr. Okechukwu Igbo, took the 2 spare tires, but will pay back when I get a new job. But it will be through the People's Court. That is his defense. This matter has been commented upon by the judge in the forum, judge, the Reverend Obioha, and is now open to the jury, the public, to give their judgment.
Okay, and you can do that by calling into the People's Court, 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346, or 0709-870-1163, or last but not the least, 0709-875-7854. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Laswell calling from
Okay.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, I want to actually, I don't really have the beginning of the case, and I don't know what wrong with Okechukwu could take his master's tire.
Give your judgment.
Please, can you give us your judgment?
You give your judgment.
What's your judgment on the case?
Okay. Yeah, I really appreciate the judgment of the judge,
Okay.
as he has said. And I also want to say the judge should also plead to the master, he should be patient
Okay.
for the money provision to gather himself and pay the money or repair the tires. Because I believe it was okay with him, that's why he could be able to work for a year.
All right.
That
Thank you for that judgment.
As the court pleases, we take the judgment. Another judgment.
As the court pleases.
Okay. We should plead with the judge to plead with the master to give him some time. Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, very good morning to you. Welcome to the People's Court.
It's still working fine, calling back.
Okay.
Yes. Your judgment, because time is approaching.
Okay, my judgment is that the employer or the driver should return back the two tires, or take his master for the money equivalent.
Okay.
He did not give us the value. That is one problem we also have. So the people will assess what the man will pay for the tire.
Okay, he has gone. Hello? Hello? Okay. The call lines are still open, and very soon they will be closed for today. 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346, 0709-870-1163. Some of you are not used to being the jury, but you have to get used to it. Hello?
Yeah, like I was saying, still working fine.
Okay.
So, if you get to market, you find out that you get some tires, 10,000, 15,000, depending on. So, if your new tire, I think you should, if it's 2 tires, you got like 20,000 naira or below, depending on the type of tire. If the man himself will be able to stipulate the amount.
Okay.
As court pleases, we take it that you assess it at 20,000.
Okay. All right. Feel free to call. Okay, I have another caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning. You're welcome to the People's Court.
Good morning. Magnus.
All right.
In addition to what others have said, so that man has said that the servant has agreed that he will, but he should wait until he gets a job. If the master has a job that the servant can go and do in place of that month, I think he should also be allowed. If he has no money to pay now, he can go and do a job equivalent to it.
Okay.
That's my suggestion.
As court pleases.
Your verdict is good. Okay, do the equivalent of that job. Okay, I think we're getting to the close of today's court session. All right.
We now have to give the verdict in the 3 cases that came to the People's Court. Remember that the cases are not due for hearing until the expiration of about 14 days from the date of submission of your petition, so that we can send the complaint to the person you are now alleging that is the person who has denied you of your right. The first case this morning in today's court was a case of Felicia N. Iwe against Mr. Michael Okorie. I pointed out that the complainant, Miss Felicia, did not give us Michael Okorie's address. Maybe Michael has now ported to America, and we could not reach him, so this case is undefended, and the case came to court because we felt that Felicia would say that we suppressed the case.
Okay.
We asked the forum judge to give the judgment, which he has already read in this case, and that judgment was also supported by the people, except one dissenting judgment, which the lady said that he should leave this sum of 1.1 million to God, that if things did not work out, that he should forget about the investment. So I will now ask the judge to read the final verdict coming from this judge, which is also supported by the people in this case. Forum judge, sir.
Yeah, case number 1 The judgment here is that it's a pity we have to say this, but is that Felicia should forget the money and press on for your life. Go ahead with your life and forget this money.
As God pleases. Case number 2. The case number 2, which was decided in this court, was between Mr. Raphael Uchenna Abo against Dr. P.J.C. Nwokabala. This is a case where the driver claimed the sum of 80,000 naira, but the defendant, Dr. J.P.C. Nwabala, said he's a Christian and forwarded a check of 60,000 naira to Movers Nigeria for onward transmission to Raphael at our office at number 1 Ogoja Street. You can collect it on Monday. So the judge will now read the final verdict as he delivered and the verdict of the people. Judge.
Yes, please. Uchenna, the man shouldn't have held the money back. He should balance the remaining 20K. He should pay the remaining money and some fine where necessary, because he has delayed. He was owing the man for several months, and he should completely balance. That's the judgment.
As God pleases. We now come to the final case this morning. The final case is the case of Odogwu against Okechukwu Igbo. This is the case where a driver took 2 tires belonging to his Oga and he must have sold them. And we contacted him. He said that he took the 2 spare tires but will pay back when he gets a new job. But he will only pay that money through the People's Court. That is Movers Nigeria. The judge in the forum has already given judgment on this matter, and this judgment was supported by the people, and I'll ask the judge to now read his judgment.
The judgment is that from what people have said, the juries have said, and what we have decided here is that we want to plead with your master, to give you some time. And again, you should begin to make arrangements to go to your master and pay him 20,000 naira for those tires. Thank you.
And this is the judgment of the forum. Gentlemen and ladies, this court will now rise, and we ask you, if you are oppressed by our big man syndrome, the institution or government, take the matter to the People's Court and let your voice be heard before your rights are buried. This is your judge and the forum advocate presiding. This court must rise.
As a couple.
All right, thank you so much for joining us for today's court. Don't forget that Movement of Voice for Democracy Movers Nigeria has their office at number 1 Ogoja Street off Nike Lake Road by Content Oil and Gas Limited, White House Bus Stop, Trans-Ekulu, Enugu. And you can reach them on Facebook, People's Court 247, or email at peoplescourt@moversnigeria.org. And the People's Court comes every Saturday, 9 to 11 a.m. We want to thank you for listening, and do have a beautiful day.
For a moment, I'd like you to imagine a place where fairness reigns supreme, a place where everyone has access to affordable justice and thus equal before the law, where no sacred bulls can trample on the rights of the common man and get away with it. That place is the People's Court. The People's Court is a radio court aimed at soliciting the timely participation of all in the enthronement and deepening of democracy and the fight against impunity, corruption, and abuse of human rights. Join Movers Nigeria. Move Nigeria forward. Nigeria is not a geographical expanse of land spreading from the north down to the south. Nigeria is the people that live in it. Nigeria changes when we do. You are Nigeria, and so am I. Together we can make Nigeria a place we will all be proud to call our own. Join Movers Nigeria. Move Nigeria forward. Transformation begins with a new consciousness, new thoughts, new perspectives, a brand new way of looking at Nigeria, and the indispensable role you have to play to actualize the lofty and noble dreams of our founding fathers. We are Nigerians for life. Join Movers Nigeria. Move Nigeria forward.